Everyone, happy Tuesday. I'm the Gray Strega and I'm here to give you your daily collective read for today, Tuesday, August 15th, 2023. Let's get started. Can I please get the first 5 cards in our 5-card spread? First card that we are starting our day off with today is our 8 of Pentacles. A lot of concentration right now in terms of getting things done, putting your concentration, effort, and energy at the task at hand today for both masculine and feminine energy, bearing in mind that this is not based on gender, but what you feel most aligned to. Second card that we have coming through today for our 5-card spread is, we have coming through right now our 7 of Wands in its reversal, which we love to see in combination with our 8 of Pentacles, because specifically we are seeing that this is some of that easement energy that we saw coming through from the read yesterday. We did end that read yesterday with 2 different 10 cards. We saw there that 10 of Cups in combination with the 10 of Wands in its reversal, trying to come into a point of easement as you concentrate and focus on your goals and manifestations moving forward. We are seeing here that that is that moment here where you are working not just to do the things that you're trying to do for today, but also finding easier ways to accomplish and to have those done. Now, let's see if we can get our center card for today's spread for today. Center card coming through for today is, we have here our 3 of Pentacles. Concentration, effort, and energy being paid today in building strong foundations for yourself at this moment. Asking yourself what feels like it is creating a strong supportive energy for yourself at this time. Also, while recognizing coming through a point of easement, allowing that point of easement to come through right now with a lot of commitment to building that strong, stable foundation for yourself at this time. This is going to help a lot with some of that masculine energy that we saw and recognized yesterday that was going through a lot of shifts. We saw a lot of shifting energy specifically around masculine energy in the realms of communication, in the realms of their emotional center at this time. While for feminine, we saw that there was a lot of care and capacity being spent to the direction and capacity of self-care at this moment. We are seeing that there's a lot of work being paid right now in the tangible spaces and places as you go forward working on this foundation. Fourth card that we have coming through right now in our 5-card spread for today is, we have here our Ace of Swords in its reversal. More of that easement energy that we are recognizing that was coming through in the cards right now, allowing there to be spaces of places, trying to find that point of surrender, moving right now in a space of recognizing what needs to be basically released so that you can come into a state of easement as you proceed forward from this time. We are also recognizing right now that this is helping you as you build this strong foundation for yourself at this moment. Fifth card right now for our 5-card spread, before we get more clarity on these cards for today, is, we have here the Sun card, moving right now into spaces and places of positivity, keeping your focus on that sense of positivity at this time. What we're really appreciating right now is this is a point of easement that is leading for better positive outcomes going forward. And we are also recognizing that there's a lot of commitment and capacity being paid right now in terms of what you are creating for yourself at this moment, working on that strong foundation and maintaining a positive mindset throughout. Now, let's see if we can get some clarification on the cards that we're seeing right now. Clarification coming through right now between our 8 of Pentacles in combination with our 7 of Wands energy. Looking right now with a lot of care and concentration, not just in terms of what you are trying to do at this moment, but finding easier ways to do it as you proceed forward from this point. May I please have one card to clarify? Clarification coming through right now with our Emperor energy. We love seeing this specifically for masculine energy because we did see that there was a lot of movement in the masculine space yesterday as it relates to one's own sense of center and balance. We're seeing here that masculine energy is really moving right now from a space or place of mastery of the self, embodying some of that Ace of Cups energy that we recognized that was coming through yesterday. Masculine energy was having a bit more difficulty around that yesterday, but we are seeing that this is today that you're getting your focus back on track. You're putting your center back into play. You're allowing yourself to move with that sense of confidence and concentration as you proceed forward from this point. While for feminine energy, this is either going to feel like this is a moment right now that you yourself are also focusing right now on what you are trying to do from a point of easement, feeling this energy of masculine coming forward in this supportive way or fashion at this time, working in that sense of union at this moment. Or for the other part of the feminine collective right now, this is working to manifest this energy towards yourself as you proceed forward from this point. Continuing to get clarification on these cards right now between our Seven of Wands energy in its reversal in combination with our Three of Pentacles. So again, a lot of care and concentration right now on building this strong, stable center for yourself at this moment, coming into a space of easement or allowing that point of easement as you proceed forward from this point, both for masculine and feminine energy right now, bearing in mind that this is not based on gender, but what you feel most aligned to. May I please have one card to clarify? Clarification coming through right now with our Five of Cups in its reversal, which we love to see, because what we're really identifying at this moment right now is this is coming through circumstances or situations and moving in that positive vibration, keeping your focus on that level or degree of positivity as you proceed forward from this point. There's a lot of release energy that we're seeing here, specifically around situations or circumstances that have caused you any space or capacity of grief at this moment. There's a lot of care and concentration that you're paying right now too, building this strong foundation for yourself at this moment, while also coming into a state of easement. And this easement that we're identifying to a certain extent has to do with one's own center of grief, allowing yourself that point of release as you proceed forward from this point, but all for that key point of orientation of coming into easement as you go forward from this time. Continuing to get clarity on these cards right now between our Three of Pentacles in combination with our Ace of Swords in its reversal. Very important that we're seeing here, because this is that moment that we see that there's going to be a lot of care and concentration on finding some path forward that feels like it will create that state of easement. But what we appreciate about this is for both masculine and feminine energy right now, there's a lot of concentration on how to build something stronger, but that is going to be easier as you proceed forward. And we're seeing that a lot of this release is helping you navigate some of those feelings of doubt or uncertainty that you've had prior to this point as you proceed forward from this point. May I please have one card to clarify? Clarification coming through right now with our Three of Wands energy. A lot of focus and concentration being spent right now on the future, laying that groundwork, setting those future plans in motion at this time. We see here we've got strong concentration on Three energy at this moment. So this is going to be about building very strong foundations as you proceed forward from this point. Now, continuing to get clarification on these cards right now between our Ace of Swords in its reversal in combination with the Sun, looking towards those spaces and places of optimism, maintaining an optimistic outlook as you proceed forward from this time, while also coming into a space or place of allowing some of this grief or some of this anxiety that you potentially been feeling to kind of move away as you keep your concentration and focus on those positive outcomes going forward from this point. May I please have one card to clarify? Clarification coming through right now with our King of Wands energy. We love seeing this because for masculine energy specifically right now, we are seeing that this is a moment that you're putting a lot of care and concentration in terms of the realms of communication. We did identify yesterday there were some feelings of uncertainty as it relates to the masculine's ability to communicate their own emotionality at this time. What we appreciate about this energy is this is masculine really coming through in a way that you are now able to articulate upon your feelings, feeling like you can lay those plans as you proceed forward from this point. A lot of heavy, strong masculine energy here, bearing in mind that this is not based on gender, but what you feel most aligned to in terms of laying that groundwork, laying those plans, allowing some sense of easement from some of the anxieties or fears that you may have been experiencing yesterday, but moving into a space or place of higher productivity as you proceed. While for feminine energy right now, we are really identifying that this is a moment that you yourself are also putting a lot of care and concentration on moving from a space or place of positivity as you proceed forward from this point, with a lot of care and consideration right now, feeling the support of a masculine energy right now, that you are recognizing or feeling that they are coming through in a way that they themselves are also assisting and aiding you in this capacity, helping through their own sense of self-mastery to help build those plans as you proceed forward from this point. While for the other part of the feminine energy right now, we see that this is a moment that you are putting a lot of care and degree and capacity in manifesting this for yourself at this moment. Recognizing that you are looking for masculine energy that shows this level or degree of strength and support while also being communicative at this same time. This is combination energy right now, and we like this because this is also showing some signs that we're starting to get closer to the end of that Venus in retrograde cycle that we've been experiencing thus far. But we do see that there are improvements in communication and planning that is coming through today, both for masculine and feminine energy. Now, let's see if we can continue to get clarification on these cards right now. Clarification between our Emperor energy in combination with our Five of Cups in its reversal. For masculine energy right now, this is going to be a lot of focus and concentration that you are effectively paying in terms of putting that detail into what you're doing right now, allowing yourself to release any feelings of doubt or uncertainty or fear at this time, moving forward right now with a more positive outlook as you proceed forward from this time. But a lot of this is going to be in the realm of self-mastery at this moment, masculine, allowing this degree of self-mastery to come in, allowing this to be a moment of coming back to your center, because we did see a lot of that fractious energy coming through in masculine yesterday. While for feminine energy, this as well is going to feel like a point of easement as you proceed forward from this point with a lot of care and concentration, either feeling this supportive masculine energy at this time that you are also utilizing to feel that level of positivity as you proceed forward from this point. Or for the other part of the collective right now, this is feminine energy, allowing that point or degree of abandoning any of that grief that you've been feeling, abandoning any of those feelings of anxiety or loss at this moment with a lot of care and orientation towards manifesting strong masculine energy that you feel is going to be able to move forward from a point of mastery, even as you yourself are working on this for yourself at this time. May I please have one card to clarify? Clarification coming through right now with our Nine of Pentacles. So we saw this card yesterday coming into play. We see it again today. A lot of this capacity being spent on building a sense of comfort for yourself at this moment. A lot of care and capacity that is being played to your own environment, to the environment that you are finding yourself in at this time. And this could be a lot of that orientation that we're seeing right now with this Three of Pentacles energy, putting this degree of care and capacity towards what you are building for yourself at this moment, allowing this degree of comfort to come through at this time, recognizing what you may need to adapt and change in your own immediate environment that's going to be allowing you to have that care or capacity of degree of easement as you proceed forward from this point. We are recognizing that this was a bit of a challenge yesterday. We saw that coming through heavily, but what we really appreciate today is this is a point of refocusing, finding one's own priority, finding that sense of center as you continue forward from this point. Now, for feminine energy right now, this is potentially going to feel like a lot of this work that you are doing for yourself at this moment as on one or two sides of this collective. For half of the collective right now, what we're really identifying is this is a lot of that same energy that we saw coming through for the feminine yesterday. That care and degree of capacity coming through with that Ace of Cups, allowing this to be a moment that the feminine energy is focusing on their own spiritual and emotional healing, allowing that to be a moment of abandoning any sense of grief, abandoning any sense of loss as you proceed forward from this point. But recognizing also for half of the feminine energy, this is working in union with strong masculine energy that you are identifying is similarly building towards this strong foundation as you proceed forward from this point. This is allowing this degree of easement as you proceed forward from this point with that sense of self-mastery that the masculine is helping you identify within yourself that is making things easier as you proceed. While for the other part of the feminine energy right now, what we're really identifying is this is a moment that you yourself are also working right now on your own center. This could be a moment that for the feminine, there is a release process that is happening right now around any circumstances or situations that may have proved too difficult prior to this moment. Working to manifest this strong masculine energy that you feel will be able to come forward in a degree or level of helping you build the things that you are trying to build at this moment. And this is also allowing a certain degree of comfort for yourself at this time as you are working towards this moving forward. Continuing to get clarification on these cards right now between our Five of Cups in its reversal in combination with our Three of Wands energy. A lot of focus right now being paid in terms of that path ahead, keeping a level or degree of optimism as you proceed forward from this point, recognizing some situations and circumstances that may have felt triggering. We saw some of those triggering situations coming up over the last few days. You may identify that we did see a lot of those abandonment wounds coming to the surface just a couple days ago. We saw a lot of them coming into play yesterday, both with the feminine energy putting a lot of care and capacity and degree of concentration towards the spiritual and emotional centering that they are working on at this time. While for masculine, yesterday was a bit more of a difficult point in terms of what you were trying to communicate and how you were trying to communicate it. What we really appreciate at this time is there is this point that we recognize that the work yesterday was really allowing this to come through, building that sense of what you are growing at this time, keeping that focus on the long-term path or the long-term goal ahead. And this is creating that sense of easement as you lay those plans going forward from this moment. May I please have one card to clarify? Clarification coming through right now with our Nine of Swords. This is speaking towards some of those anxieties, some of those doubts, some of those fears that we recognize were coming to the surface yesterday, showing up again today. But what we are really appreciating right now is not necessarily the sense that you aren't experiencing some of these difficulties or hurdles. We saw those coming through very strongly, specifically for the masculine energy yesterday, in terms of your own degree or ability to communicate at this moment. While for feminine, we were seeing that that was feeling like there was some kind of level or degree of chaos that you may have been experiencing around your own ability to communicate or emotionally center with masculine at this time. What we're really appreciating and identifying here is this point of recognition around trying to navigate forward from this point, away from circumstances and situations that are creating too many hurdles, creating too many setbacks, utilizing that right now as a point of maintaining a level or degree of optimism so that you can proceed forward from this moment with a clear identity or clear understanding of what it is that you're trying to build for yourself at this time. So we see that today is going to be spent right now on working through some of these plans, but at the same time, having to address some of the points of anxiety, some of the points of fear at this time, even as you are doing some of this difficult work. And we are seeing that some of those triggers are still coming into play today. But what we appreciate about these triggers at this moment is this is that moment of deeper understanding in recognizing what it is that is effectively triggering you at this time so that you can move forward with a state of easement in terms of laying those plans moving forward. For masculine energy, this is going to be requiring a huge degree of planning right now, coming into your sense of self-mastery as you lay that path ahead. While for feminine right now, this is again working in collaboration with masculine energy that is simultaneously also doing this work or working to manifest masculine energy that is able to manifest these same traits and qualities. Continuing to get clarification on these cards right now between our Three of Wands in combination with our King of Wands. Recognizing right now for masculine that there is a sense of empowerment that is coming into play today, recognizing that ability to lay those plans, lay that path work as you go forward from this point, and letting this be some point of optics right now and being able to see the path ahead. And that is what's allowing you to build from this moment, to get your concentration and focus back on what it is that you are truly trying to build and grow for yourself at this time. While for feminine energy, this is simultaneously also a moment that we see that you are keeping a lot of your own vision set forward into the future, into what you are trying to grow at this time. This could even be a lot of communication that you are working on right now with masculine energy that you recognize has this same degree or ability to build and grow forward with at this moment. May I please have one card to clarify? Clarification coming through right now with our King of Pentacles coming into play here. So a lot of positive energy that's coming through right now, specifically around masculine. This is really beautiful to see because we did see that masculine energy was going through some setbacks or difficulties or hurdles yesterday, specifically in the realms of communication or communicating their own emotional standpoint at this time. A lot of that point that we saw yesterday for the masculine was really coming into a point of distraction, having some distractions coming into play that were making it difficult for you to be able to truly articulate what it is that you were trying to articulate at this time. We're not necessarily seeing that today. A lot of that work on self-care that we saw the masculine was working on has effectively come to the surface here. We see that masculine energy is coming in right now from a state of working on their own stability, working on their ability to communicate, and also feeling a lot of strength as it relates to their degree or level of self-mastery at this time. This is all leading to masculine energy coming through today, feeling a level or degree of security that you may not necessarily have felt yesterday. While for the feminine energy right now, what we're really identifying is this is also a moment that the feminine energy is simultaneously keeping a lot of care and concentration on what it is that they're trying to build and grow for themselves at this moment. For the feminine energy that is in union right now, you are feeling a lot of this supportive energy around you, with a masculine energy that is showing this degree and capacity of creating a stable environment for you, allowing that degree of communication, and even having this degree or level of self-mastery that's coming into play. For some of the feminine energy, this is a single manifestation of masculine that is embodying all of these traits at this time. While for the other part of the feminine collective right now, this is effectively you allowing this to be a point of orientation or guidance at this moment that you are utilizing to help you as you build this path for yourself at this moment. And what we're really appreciating right now for the feminine is this is some of that sea change that we wanted to see as well. Because for the feminine energy, there was this degree or ability right now of putting that care and attention in what you are building for yourself at this moment, maintaining a certain degree or level of emotional and spiritual balance at this time. And we're seeing that a lot of this is leading you now to spaces or places where you are feeling more solid, you're feeling more stable, you're seeing some of this stability coming into motion right now, and it is allowing you to feel like you are building more solid, stable connections with the masculine energy that is coming towards you at this time. Continuing to get clarification on these cards right now between our Nine of Pentacles in combination with our Nine of Swords. So navigating or working through any feelings of crisis at this time, really building this point of orientation in terms of what you feel is creating a setback, creating a hurdle, creating a challenge, versus those spaces or places that you effectively are trying to build a sense of security or comfort at this time. This is going to feel like a bit of this hairy energy that we've been seeing over the last few days, because while we see that there is this movement right now into coming into a better level of positivity, there are some situations and circumstances that effectively need to be addressed right now. And this could be a lot of your own doubts and fears or anxieties rising to the surface. But we're seeing that this rise is coming through in a very productive way right now, because that rise to the surface of these doubts and anxieties and fears are exactly what you're utilizing to build this sense of comfort for yourself at this time. You are tackling those adversities, you're tackling those hurdles head on to a certain extent in order to allow yourself a state of easement as you proceed forward from this point. May I please have one card to clarify? Clarification coming through right now with our Seven of Pentacles in its reversal. This is that point of really helping you identify what it is that you are truly moving towards at this moment. You will recall we saw this card yesterday coming through in its upright. There was a lot of confusion that we saw coming through yesterday as it relates to one's own purposes. We saw for the feminine energy right now that care or consideration that you were paying to your own sense of spiritual and emotional balance at this time, and feeling some feelings of confusion around masculine energy was creating some of this coming into a point of confusion. But what we really appreciate about this at this moment is for the feminine energy that is working in this capacity or degree, today is a day of really getting back to the task at hand, keeping your focus on that positive, uplifting energy, maintaining that sense of positivity, even through some setbacks and challenges at this moment. And this is what's helping really orient the feminine energy right now in terms of managing or mitigating any feelings of crisis or anxiety that you're currently experiencing, putting that focus on one's own sense of comfort, one's own sense of security, working right now either in union right now with masculine energy that you are recognizing simultaneously also has this degree of self-mastery at this time, working on communicating deeply in terms of laying that path moving forward. While for the other part of of the feminine collective right now, this is working on manifesting such energy for yourself at this moment with a lot of this care and degree in terms of what you are creating for yourself at this time. But for masculine and feminine energy right now, there is this moment that is really coming to the surface here today about really focusing on what it is that feels like it is your highest goal and highest purpose today. That is that point of guidance that we wanted to see and that we identified was occurring yesterday with the arrival of the 10 of Cups in combination with our 10 of Wands in its reversal. For masculine today, this is going to feel like a lot of empowering energy that is rising to the surface today, because what we're really seeing is there is a recommitment or refocus right now on the task at hand that is helping you overcome any of these adversities and hurdles at this time. While again, for feminine, a lot of care and concentration, feeling some of that energetic support from masculine at this time, or simultaneously recognizing that you are working to manifest it for yourself at this moment. Continuing to get clarification on these cards right now between our 9 of Pentacles in combination with our King of Pentacles, which we love to see. For feminine energy right now, this is some of that focus that we're seeing that we saw that you were identifying yesterday, putting that level of care and detail of care into what you're trying to grow and the spaces that you're trying to grow at this time. Feeling that strong, supportive masculine energy right now that is helping lend support to what you are trying to build and what you are trying to grow. While for the other part of the feminine energy right now, what we're really identifying is this is a moment that you yourself are simultaneously working on this for yourself while trying to manifest this energy as you proceed forward from this point. While for masculine energy right now, what we're really identifying is this is also a point where you are feeling that level or degree of stability and security at this moment. A lot of care and orientation that is being paid on building a strong, supportive environment for yourself at this time. This is potentially working in collaboration with feminine energy to a certain extent to help build this level or degree of comfort as you proceed forward. While for the other part of the masculine energy right now, this is going to be a lot of that internal work that you are doing at this time to help you come into a state of easement with that sense of self-mastery, with that sense of security, with that sense of support. May I please have one card to clarify? Clarification coming through right now with our Queen of Wands in its reversal. So this is going to feel a little bit different depending on whether you align to feminine or masculine energy at this time. For the feminine energy right now, there is some hurdle that we're seeing that the feminine is now having as it relates to one's own degree of communication at this moment. For the feminine energy, we are seeing that some of this 9 of Wands, Swords energy that is rising to the surface today is really coming into play in terms of working to articulate one's own doubts and fears at this time. For the feminine energy that is currently in union at this moment, this is a lot of work that you're doing towards masculine energy to help articulate your own doubts and fears. For the feminine energy that is not necessarily in union at this time, this is that moment that you are trying to build this level or degree of understanding and capacity so that you can build a more robust path of comfort for yourself as you proceed forward from this point. Feminine energy is doing a lot of work right now in the understanding of the self, really working to identify what is effectively needed at this time to help you move forward in terms of your plans and goals. For feminine, there could be a feeling right now of difficulty or degree of communication, experiencing some of these setbacks, experiencing some of these hurdles, but also putting a lot of care and attention right now into what you're trying to grow at this time to help you build a better articulation point in terms of your communication and your planning going forward from this time. While for masculine energy, this is a moment that you yourself are also working through any of the setbacks that we saw may have arisen with masculine and with the feminine energy yesterday. Because what we really identified for masculine energy yesterday was there was a point that it was becoming very difficult in order to communicate with the feminine in terms of your own emotionality and your own feelings. But for the masculine right now, we see that this is a moment that you are coming into a point of stabilization to help the feminine energy identify your own limitations, your own setbacks, but recognizing that they did have some sort of impact on the feminine energy, working on some of that communication flow at this time. We saw the feminine energy doing a lot of that heavy lifting yesterday. Today, masculine will be doing a lot of that heavy lifting as you proceed forward from a point of easement. Continuing to get clarification on these cards right now between our 7 of Cups in its reversal in combination with our Queen of Wands in its reversal. So For feminine energy right now, this is going to feel like a moment that is a bit of a challenge point, because while we see that the feminine energy is working through any sense of anxiety at this time, navigating any spaces or places that you feel are creating a point of challenge for you at this moment, we also see that there is a difficulty in terms of articulating on these. But at the same time, this is showing a lot of that inner work that the feminine energy is doing right now during this retrograde cycle to truly identify what it is that is their highest purpose and path going forward. There is something here for the feminine that is being worked through right now. And this is going to come through right now for feminine as some feelings of frustration in terms of your own ability to communicate, in terms of your own ability to plan. But feminine energy is utilizing this right now as that point of orientation and really securing and understanding right now what it is that you are truly moving towards and what it is that you're truly trying to grow for yourself at this moment. While for masculine energy right now, this is simultaneously doing that work with feminine energy, recognizing any spaces or places that you are seeing some degree or capacity of working on the communication between you and the feminine energy. But identifying through some of those hurdles, through some of those setbacks, what you feel is creating that sense of higher understanding, really going after the things that you truly value at this time. We appreciate this because for the masculine, this is also a growing period that is helping you really reorient and focus as you proceed forward from this point. Final card for today's spread is, we have coming through right now our Two of Wands in its reversal. So this is addressing any feelings of communication hurdles or setbacks. This could be requiring changes of plans or working through any changes of plans that are necessary at this time. Because what we're really seeing that is coming into play right now during this retrograde period is this sense of really trying to navigate in a way of easement. We saw that some of that easement was coming through yesterday with that double 10 card that we received. This is that moment of really trying to get to the bottom of any of the communication hurdles or challenges that you may have been actively experiencing prior to this point, with this point of understanding and recognition right now in terms of what you feel is productive versus something that you're feeling is experiencing some level or degree of setback on. For feminine right now, this is a point of deeper understanding that we see that you are effectively reaching in terms of your own goals and plans at this moment. Feminine energy is putting a lot of care and concentration on those goals and those plans going forward. But at the same time, recognizing where some of these limitations are that they may need to correct so that they can proceed forward from a point of easement. While for the masculine energy right now, what we're really identifying is this is that moment that you yourself are also working through any setbacks or hurdles or challenges as it relates to feminine energy, utilizing this as a point of understanding or optics as you try to proceed to have these better communication points. This is a point of really articulating for the masculine why some of that confusing energy that we saw yesterday may have had an impact on feminine energy. But we see here for masculine that this is that moment of clarification that you're effectively reaching at this point, allowing this degree or capacity of easement so that you can feel more aligned with feminine in terms of what those long-term goals and that path is for yourself at this time. Bottom of the deck for today's reading is Magician in its reversal. So this is overcoming some of those obstacles or challenges that we saw coming through in the last few days. One of the things that we did identify for masculine yesterday, we saw that that was the setback or challenge as it relates to your own ability to communicate at this time. While for feminine, we keep seeing that there was this repeating cycle right now happening around masculine energy and one's own ability to come into a state of feeling a point of security at this moment. Today is going to be having that moment of putting a lot of impact or care and capacity into what you're trying to grow for yourself at this time. But it is requiring you to really remember at this moment the importance and power of one's own ability to manifest for yourself at this time. There's a point of recognition that is effectively coming through right now in terms of deeper understanding, in terms of what it is that you're truly seeking and how it is that you're truly going to move towards that at this time. And we're seeing that there may be some energy right now of reflection that is effectively required at this point to help you navigate going forward from this point. What we're really appreciating right now as it relates to this energy is this is that moment betterment that we're really seeing that you are recognizing one's own limitations, one's own setbacks, the places or spaces that you may not necessarily feel your full degree of confidence right now, but all to the betterment of coming through in a way that feels more stable and secure as you proceed forward from this point. That is our daily collective read for today. I want to thank you so much for being here and experiencing it with me. Just a reminder, if you would like to book a private reading with me, you can book one on my website, graystrega.com. My private readings are done over video, and I'm happy to send you a recording afterwards. Please remember that when you book a private reading, it is a two-step process. You have to book the reading and you have to pay for the reading. Please make sure you do both if you'd like to have that reading. Most importantly, please remember that I will never, ever, 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 ever reach out to you for a private reading. I will never PM you. I will never DM you. I will never slide into your DMs and tell you I have a very important message just for you. The only way you can book a reading with me is if you book one on my website. So I encourage you to do it there. I want to thank you guys so much for having this reading with me today, and we will do this again tomorrow.